BabeCN.com. Just coming to you today to just talk about the equipment I have here, and I basically want to talk to you about the PC. You know, I mentioned in my last video that my big PC, I call it the big PC, the desktop, not the laptop, had kind of like had a little issue going on with it, and I had to try to correct it. And I'm just going to explain to you what I did and how I corrected it. And that's this guy right over here. Okay, as you can see there, I got my Brother D2770, I think is DW. The DW stands for duplex and wireless. That's my HP Pavilion. What you see over here is my Laptec desktop mic. I got my what do you call it? The Logitech Navigator, Internet Navigator keyboard. My HP monitor. On the top, I have my HP webcam and a Logitech. I got a dual thing there, a dual webcam. Okay, and right now I switched up to Chrome. That's the Chrome there. You know, so far I like the Chrome web browser. Can't complain. I know Microsoft came out with Edge, and you know, I'll just talk a little about that there. Here is my iPhone, which is very important to have, and also in my little bag over here, not my bag of tricks, but I'm going to try to do this open with one hand because I'm not using my iPhone, of course. I just wanted to show you what I got here, if I can get it out without breaking it, which I think is very important to have. Sorry folks for this here, trying to get it out with one hand. I should have had this taken out ahead of time, but I didn't do that. So I think it's very important, if you could, that is, if you could, you know, afford to do it. This here I picked up used. The only things I bought brand new was the computer, my HP monitor, and my laptop. That's what I picked up brand new. And this here, the HP 7520 printer is used. It's pre-owned. I picked up at the thrift store. Got it for a good price. Normally I think they go over a little over 200 and change, I believe. It's all touchscreen, and it's really nice. It's, you know, I think you can move it this way. Is it? I'm not sure, but it has wireless and stuff like that. But I on the other one, on the other printer, I noticed you could slide it around. You can move it. This one here, I think, is just all touchscreen, but it's really nice. The HP 7520 and the laptop. Okay, with the wireless mouse I picked up here. It's nice to have wireless mouse. And then, of course, you got your phone. But this is another important thing too, to have in backup to your laptop and your desktop, an iPad. I picked this up. You can get these relatively cheap. I don't know, you can get them as low as, I don't know, $100, even cheaper than that. I've seen them. This is the old iPad. It works great. It pairs up with my iPhone. This is the iPhone 5S. I picked this up as well. I got this for a good price, a little over $100. But it's a nice phone. I always wanted an iPhone. I have a Sony right now that's on eBay. If you guys, anybody's interested, I bought it brand spanking new. It's in great condition. The reason why I'm selling it is because I wanted to switch up to the iPhone. Okay, this is the iPhone 5S, and if you look on eBay, they're not too pricey. If you're going brand new, if you're going with the higher gigabytes, then they might run up in there. But I figure I got this here, you know, these two here, this here. Well, actually, this was given to me. My daughter gave me. She got a new one. She gave this to me. She asked me, she's like, "Dad, you want this?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take it. It works. Why not?" She got this here. This is pre-owned. You can see it's got a little scratch over here, right along the side there. But it works. It does the job. You know, when you turn it on, it does what it's got to do. No complaints there on that part. And then I got my Apple iPhone, which they pair up together. But, you know, the reason why I'm saying it's good to have, if you could, an iPad, whatever. If you guys ever watch Market Warriors, they have one of the co-hosts there that goes out and sometimes, you know, well, these people are kind of like I would say they're professionals in their line of work. And I see the girl there that's on there. She always has an iPad with her. I don't know if she's got the mini or what, but I know she's got the iPad. And they're wireless, of course. And she'll be looking stuff up, like if it comes to furniture or if it comes to certain items that you know, she wants to research. She does it right there on the spot. And you know, it's a very versatile tool. It's a nice thing to have. I would definitely make sure, you know, I definitely have one. If you could afford it, I would definitely get one. It's cheap enough, like I said, you know. You can't really complain, you know, as far as that part goes. And it's a nice tool. It's a nice versatile tool. It really is. You know, the same thing with the iPhone, man. I know people say, "Well, why do I got to carry that big thing around when I could just carry my my iPhone or whatever?" You know, you don't need to do all like that. But it's nice to have either or. She also has the phone as well to check things out. But this is the equipment I have, and I'm very happy with it, very content with it. And I'm going to power it off. I'm going to power off my webcam, my digital video camera here. And I just want to talk to you, tell you what happened over the week. Well, actually, it happened yesterday. And I was up till like 1 o'clock in the morning trying to figure it out, watching videos and stuff like that on how to correct the problem. So I'm going to power this off, and I'm going to talk to you guys on the webcam. And I just want to talk to you about other stuff too, as well. Okay? Thanks. Hey guys, it's Rich Piscine from RJPiscine.com. Coming to you today to just do a continuation on my previous video. I just showed you guys about the equipment I use and the stuff I have, the laptop, and I was talking about the other things. I shot that previous video, or the shoot, with my digital camcorder here. It's a Sony. It's an older one. I bought this back in 2003 or 2002. It works really nice. I had this thing. It's a die-hard. It's got the flip-out screen there. It goes up to 700x zoom, so you got plenty. It's got super night vision on it as well. It's really nice. You could hook up all your cables and stuff over here. It's got FireWire and everything, so on and so forth. But that's not one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, because of the equipment I have, which is nice to have to show you guys. I was talking prior to this is about having certain things like this as backups. Like this is my iPhone, I mentioned earlier, and I also have my my iPad here, which is nice to have. You know. I see people sometimes taking iPads in the thrift stores, believe it or not. I mean, not this size, maybe the mini one. This is the biggest size, but I see people sometimes with their mini iPads, going through, looking up stuff, because in the thrift stores where I am, they have wireless capabilities there. I myself, I use on my phone too. It's funny when you go to thrift stores, you see a lot of people, first thing to do when they walk in the doors, they got their cell phones out, and most likely they're doing their research on eBay. They're checking everything out. Very versatile tool to have, and especially in this day and age. And if you're a person that didn't want to schlep this around in a thrift store, which I don't blame you. I mean, we don't need the whole world knowing. But if you're a person that's got vision problems or whatever, you can't see something like this on a small screen. Even though you're large, it's got that pick and touch. Was it pinch and touch thing? Whatever. You can make it larger. Some people might feel it's still too small. So they might walk around not with this size, but maybe the mini, and they'll do their research, and you can get a good visual on what you're looking for, and you got plenty of viewable screen to read, But I got the idea from I don't take this to the thrift store, by the way, but I got the idea of owning one of these when I watched Market Warriors. I think I mentioned that once before on one of my videos. The video is the one I was talking about, starting out on eBay. And I talk about it towards the end that rather than going through all of these things here, listen, I know there's a lot of people out there telling you certain things to buy. I mentioned about watching Market Warriors, and the other thing was Antique Roadshow. You might want to check into those, but that's where I got the idea. One of the people there, the co-host that stars in there, the lady, she every now and then you'll see her with this. She takes out of a pocketbook and she's sitting there checking things out, and she talks to the antique dealer, saying, "Oh, when she gets a deal." Let's say she's pricing an antique furniture or something, and the guy might say, "Well, this is I want $500 for it," and she'll say, "Yeah, but on eBay or whatever, they're going for this much money," and sometimes she's able to chew the guy down, So it's a nice tool to have, such as the iPhone, your phone too. I mean, it's a very versatile tool. I mean, this is a handheld computer as far as I'm concerned. But talking about computers and talking about iPads and iPhones and things to back of laptops, like I showed you in the video. I'm just going to power my iPad off here, keep the battery going here. No sense of leaving it on. I had a little situation with my. Let's see. I'm already doing the wrong button here. I'm sorry. I had an issue with a situation going on with my desktop, and that's why I'm doing this video. And it's just to give you guys a heads up, because for the simple reason is when you don't have. If you don't have a secondary backup, whether it be a laptop or an iPad, whatever, it's very important. People say, "Well, I could just do everything with the phone." You could, but me, I find it to be a little, too small to do stuff like that there, like answering, and you know when you got to type out and stuff like that, you got to type these messages out if you're going to reply to your customers. I find it to be a little annoying. Me personally, I don't want to. I love my iPhone. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I upgraded to it, but I don't want to, do all my transactions. I know a lot of people do. There are people. I guess that's why they buy the bigger iPhones. Now they're coming out with, I think, the iPhone 8. I think, like, because my daughters both have, but one has the 6 and the other one has the 7. I think there's going to be an 8 coming out soon, if it ain't already. And it's nice. They're nice, versatile tools. I mean, I don't want to carry a big thing like this because I keep this in a shoulder holster. So, I mean, I don't want something this big. If I'm going to have something that big, I might as well take my iPad and walk around with that, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm just saying, if you get any bigger, you might as well carry a mini iPad. The problem I had with my computer yesterday was pretty much in the morning. It started Friday morning, and I didn't get to check it out till today to make sure it worked. And I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm going to tell you how I came about it. And this is why I'm telling you, why it's important to have a secondary backup, whether it be a laptop or an iPad. It's nice to have something, that'll back you up in case you have a system crash. Now, my PC I bought brand new. When it comes to electronic things like that, like a PC or laptop, I will invest the money and buy them brand new. Now, that laptop I bought, now people, they say, hey, ain't you the frugal guy that always talks about saving money and cutting back? It's true. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I paid for these items. This is when I was working before I got laid off from my company. That's when I bought these things. And I didn't go out and go crazy, I mean, back in the day, you're making decent money. So they say, oh, you could afford to do this. Even back then, working back then for a company, big company, I still was frugal. My kids will tell you the same thing. Oh, my dad, he buys out of necessity. And I do. I buy out of necessity. The desktop I got with the, not with the monitor, mind you. The desktop I bought that at Walmart. I paid $4.99 for that. I think it was $4.99. Yeah, $4.99 for that. That came with the keyboard and it came with the mouse. I got rid of the keyboard and the mouse because it was it was too dark. Like like when you're working in the morning, I don't leave the lights on. Of course, you're working with the daylight. I found it a little too much to work on a black keyboard because I couldn't see the keys. I wear glasses for reading, of course, and it was just too dark. So that's why I traded up to this. I could see the keys, even if it's like a dusk. I could still see the keys. I could still make it out, and I wanted to keep it. The mouse is not wireless. It was a wired mouse. So is this mouse. This is a Logitech. Okay, you can see it's a wired mouse. Okay, and I bought I got now. Here's the other thing. I got this nice keyboard. I got this keyboard. It's a nice keyboard. It's an Internet Navigator keyboard, Logitech, clean like this, like brand spanking new. I bought this at the thrift store. I think I paid $5 for it. Okay. The mouse, I got that on half-day sale. I think I got this for like $3, whatever it was. I went for $6 and I got it for $3. Clean, like brand spanking new. So I do buy stuff at the thrift store. But when it comes to electronic things, as far as I'm talking about computers now, you might say, well, that's electronic too. I couldn't find, even if I wanted to buy one of these brand new, the Logitech thing, I could have probably went to eBay. I don't want to buy stuff on eBay. I do more selling on eBay than do buying. I wanted to get this here, and I know if I was to buy this on eBay, if they were selling it brand new, it would probably cost a lot more than what I paid for it. So yes, I did get this here pre-owned. I got the Logitech mouse pre-owned, but when it came to my desktop computer and my laptop, I bought that new, brand new, and I bought the laptop brand new. When it comes to things like that, I like to buy brand new. You might say, well, what about that HP printer? That's a pre-owned, and that Brother printer you see in the Laser, that's pre-owned too. Now, I had bought brand new printers. I have bought them and I sold them. Believe it or not, it sounds crazy. Say, why would you want to sell a brand new printer for a pre-owned one? First off, the printer I bought wasn't like that. It wasn't a touchscreen. It was the HP 6500. And I think back then I bought that at Walmart. I think I paid $129 or $130 on sale. The other printer I bought, the Brother, it was the HL2240. I bought that when that was on sale. That was normally $100-something. I got that at Staples. I got that at Staples for $79. I saved the clipping. $79 I bought it for. So everything I did buy was brand new. So you might say, well, why would you get rid of brand new printers? I upgraded because I want the touchscreen on the HP. I like HP products. The other one was an HP, but that was a little too much. You know, it was a little too old for me, and I wanted that one. I always had my eye on that, but the thing was always the cost of money. The other printer, the brother with the the DW, I think it's a 2270 DW, which stands for Duplex Wireless. That was going for like $100 and something or close to it, maybe close to even 200 maybe. I got that brother printer at the thrift store. I paid I think $10 for that. Okay, so if you look at the stuff I spent, considering I'm lucky I spent the total between the printers, the two printers, and the keyboard, you're lucky I spent $40 for everything. Don't forget, I paid $10 for that. That print I think was either $10 or $12, whatever, for the HP. And this stuff, the Navigator, what do you call it? The Logitech Navigator mouse was like dirt cheap. So I think it was under $50. I can tell you that it was under $50 for all of that, for the two printers and the Navigator keyboard and that. I also got this. If I can get it out of here. I was switching wires around yesterday, folks. I'm sorry. I got this here. You can't see it because my webcam is there. I got this Labtech microphone. Okay. I wonder why it's so messed up over here. Yesterday I was moving wires around, folks. So I'm sorry about that. I apologize that, I'm doing these things now. I shouldn't have had this happen here. There you go. I was moving wires all around behind the computer and stuff, and I guess this got kind of like, tangled in there. But I got this, and that's another thing I want to talk to you about too. A lot of people will tell you if you're going to do this type of stuff, you're doing videos. Again, this is based on a person who's frugal. Okay, I got this Labtech at the thrift store. It works great. It's a very sensitive mic. It's not $100. It's not $200. As a matter of fact, you can see on eBay. I think I have one up on eBay. It's showing you for like $9. This is what it is. It goes back and forth like that. You can turn it on and off like that. I paid, I think $6.99 or something like that for this here at the thrift store. Okay, like brand new, clean, works great. That's what you hear me on right now. I could also do it on a webcam. I could do the I could disable that one and go on a webcam. I got HP webcam that has the dual on it. It's got, I think, the dual mic or whatever, or dual speakers. No, dual mic, dual mic. I could do it as well, either or. So if this was disabled or was broken or whatever, I could still do it off the HP. You don't have to buy expensive stuff like this here. And I see a lot of people saying they're buying these type of expensive mics and stuff like that. This here, if you like the way I sound, this is where it's coming from, folks. This very sensitive. It's a very sensitive mic too. I mean, sometimes I bump into it, or if I just move it around, you'll hear the noise in the background. And it's nice. You could position it up and down. And you get good. It's a very sensitive mic. It's got good sound. It's got pretty decent quality for a Labtech. I always wanted a desktop mic. I was going to get an ear one. Then they have wireless ones and so on. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. So you don't have to go out and buy expensive stuff when you're first making YouTube videos. And if this stuff is for eBay, if you're doing videos for eBay, you don't have to go crazy with this stuff. The issue I had with the my desktop was I was uploading software. Well, actually, I have Windows 10 on it on my system, and it did an auto update. Okay, and I noticed when it did the auto update, I was using Cyberfox. These are the browsers I have on my system. I have, of course, Internet Explorer because that's what comes with it. I had Cyberfox. I had Cyberfox and Mozilla Firefox. Now, Cyberfox and Firefox are about the same. I think the Cyberfox is something with some company puts it out, but I think they working together in conjunction. It's the same. It's basically the same setup. I don't know if there was too much software conflict with the browsers, because sometimes I'll open up two browsers. I might open up the Internet Explorer, or Microsoft came out now with this new upgrade. They came out with Microsoft Edge, and they said Edge is better than Chrome and better than Firefox. And they had the little dials there showing you, and the Microsoft Edge, it was like it pointed at 30, like the speed-wise. Okay, that's the new Microsoft Edge, the one that came out with the new one. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but that's what came out, the new one. And they have like the little comparisons there, and they only showed that. And of course, Microsoft Edge was in the middle with, I think, the 30. It was I'm up on 30. I guess that's the speed or whatever. And it beat out Chrome and it beat out Firefox. Anyway, so I was getting ready to power my PC. So if something happened where it got locked up, my PC froze. I waited for 5 or 10 minutes. Nothing was happening. Hitting keyboard, hitting buttons on the keypad, my keyboard, whatever here. Nothing was going on. Try hitting the restart button. The computer was frozen. It was like it just stopped. It was in, caught. What we used to say in computers, because I used to work in the computer field, it was caught like in an infinite loop. It was just kept going and going and going and going and going. Right. I powered off the computer, and then when I tried to power it on, it was dead. Nothing. And it was just working. That's the thing. I was on it in the morning, checking out my messages, checking out eBay and stuff like that, checking out my emails. It was working. And then all of a sudden, it just hosed up on me. And I was going stir crazy trying to figure it out. Now, my background is, like I said, with computers. I went to school for technician, PC technician. I was trying to figure out certain things. Now, I had been out of the field. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've been out of the field for quite some time. So a lot of stuff I had forgotten about. I still have my textbook and stuff like that. And like I said, now you can go to YouTube and you can look up there. They have technician guys that'll help you out with things. So I said, you know what? I did the knowledge I was taught in school to try to, correct the problem, stuff like that. And it seemed like at one point it didn't work. And I took out the CPU, checked the CPU if it was overheated. I checked the fans. I checked on a whole bunch of stuff. I took out the memory, made sure it was clean. I will say this, folks. Periodically, I suggest you do this because dust is a conductive. And it could damage your power board, your power supply. It can damage the heat sink, and so on and so forth. There was a lot of dust. Now, I normally, about every so many months, 4 or 5 months, whatever, I will take the chassis off the side cover and I will vacuum and blow out all the dust in there and make sure everything's up for snuff. It was working good. The grill fans, where the fans are to let air in, were clogged with dust. All 3 of them. Okay. The CPU fan had dust on it. I had to take off the CPU fan, get to the heat sink, and I had to clean that out, vacuum it out. Oh, it was a mess. The power supply was all dusted up, and I could see why it would overheat. So anyway, I did all that cleaning. I put everything back. I checked everything out. Like I said, I took out the memory. I cleaned, made sure it was clean. I reseated it because they tell you, the techs, and I myself used to do the same thing. You would go through all your components. You make sure all the cables are tightly in there, or connected to the motherboard. You make sure, there's no loose wires and so on. So I did all of that. I took the memory out. I have 8 gig memory stick by Samsung. And I made sure it was clean. I reseated it. I have only 2 memory banks on my computer. I think this only goes up to 16 gig as far as I get. I think it had another 8 gigabyte stick, and I can only think it's a 16 gigabyte, which it works fine. Sometimes it could be a memory allocation problem too. So anyway, I did all of that, and then I was watching this one guy was talking on the YouTube list. Like I said, I was up to 1 o'clock in the morning list, and I trying to figure this out. It was driving me crazy from the morning till 1 o'clock in the morning. So figure. This must have started, I think it hosed up around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So you figure from that time on, I break for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. And I was on it all day trying to figure it out. At one point, I put it back together, and then I took it off again. I said, well, let me see if I can figure it out. Let me try this. Let me try that. There was one point I did it. I cleaned it out. I got it to work. I said, oh, this is great. I powered it off. I wanted to turn it back on to see if there was a corrected problem. The problem was corrected. Went through the same thing again. Just hosed up. It didn't go anywhere. So then I went on YouTube and I seen this guy talking about, and he was saying that the CMOS, which is the computer metal oxide, or whatever, it's a CMOS battery, whatever. You don't think they need to know the acronym. It's just an acronym for it. That usually keeps all the time, and it sets everything up in your computer and lets you know the time on air. It keeps all. In other words, it keeps that data in there. As the computer shut off, it still goes through that. And then also he said you could reset the CMOS. There's a little jumpers there. You could reset them to clear the memory and to reset it, whatever. And there was another one for the BIOS too. You could do that. So I did that there. I suggest when you're doing stuff like that, if you are going to do that, take pictures of your motherboard and the way it's laid out. Because if you put the wrong jumper somewhere, if you take it out and you're not paying attention to, geez, where did this jumper go? You're going to screw your computer up. Take pictures. Use your phone, digital camera, whatever. This way you have something for reference. Because if you don't have a manual, I do have a manual, but manuals, they don't give you, the manuals they give you is just basic stuff. They don't give you a schematic of at least not with my computer. I don't have a schematic of the motherboard as to what goes which. Sure, I can probably get off of eBay. But if your computer's down, how are you going to get over eBay, right? All right, well, I have the laptop. That's why I'm saying I can't stress it enough to have an additional computer. Oh yeah, and I think I told you what I paid for my desktop was $499. That laptop I paid $299 for that, so it came to $300 for that with tax. Okay, so you see, I don't go buy now. HP has top of the line laptops too. I am not going to spend $1,300–1,400 on a laptop. So and I got that laptop at Walmart. Okay, I didn't go to Best Buy. I didn't go to Micro Center over here in the East Coast. They have a place, a computer superstore they call it Micro Center. I didn't go there. They had the same computers, probably cheap too. But I just said, let me go to Walmart. It's right down the block from me. I said, let me pick it up. I bought my desktop at different times. Bought the desktop first, and for the longest time, I said, I got to get a laptop. I got to get a laptop. For the simple reason is, well, I used to take it to work with me. It's a portable device. I mean, now they have the phones and they have iPads. But I said I like to work on the keys. I like a laptop because of the keys, the functionality of it. So I got that. Plus, you could put a CD in there. You can't do it on an iPad. And I'm glad I did. And the reason for it, the whole idea behind getting a secondary computer is because of something like this. I've dealt with this in the past with another computer I had, and I said, you know something? I was dead in the water. I only had the one computer, I didn't have a laptop, and I said, that's it. We don't realize it, but it's like flying a jet with one engine. Something happens, you say, that won't happen. I got my cell phone to work with. Well, if you want to answer questions and type stuff on a little cell phone keypad, that's okay. You want to use your little QWERTY pads to do all that, that's fine. Me, I don't want to do that. I didn't have an iPad either. Like I said, my daughter gave me that one there because she upgraded to a new one. I didn't have one of them. So, it's very important to have a secondary computer, okay? And the reason why is you never know when a scenario is going to come up like that where you're going to end up, having your computer crash. It could be a hard drive crash. It could be a memory problem crash, like maybe the memory's going bad. I don't know. But all I know is I went through the whole format to make a long story short. Put it back. Now, they're saying the last thing they said with that is to take right before I went to bed, I took the CMOS battery out. I took the memory slot out. I put it on ice, static-free cloth, whatever. I let it sit. The next morning I woke up, popped the CMOS battery in, put the memory in, booted it up. At first it was delayed coming up. I said, oh man, I said, this is going to be terrible. I said, I'm going to be dogged out without without the desktop. The desktop is where I do all my work on there. Okay, it's easy to see. I got a big screen to look at and so on. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's very important, especially if you're an eBay seller. It's always good to have a secondary computer. I can't state it enough to have a secondary. And you don't have to buy state-of-the-art. You don't have to buy a Mac. Mac computers are nice, but you can get them on eBay probably cheap. Just like that iPad. That iPad on eBay you can probably get for less than maybe $100 or less. It depends. It depends the condition of them. They're scratched, they're dinged, they're dent. This one's pretty decent outside that little scratch. But that's nice. I mean, you could do something like that. At least if you have that, it's better than working on a cell phone. But I can't stress enough, it's good to have a secondary computer. And you don't even have to spend $300 on that. Like I said, you don't have to go, I think Walmart had them even cheaper than that. I think I seen them for $199, but they're the smaller ones, HPs and whatever. So, that's my take on having a secondary computer. I think everybody should have one. If you could afford it, okay? I remind you folks, now, I only did all of this stuff. I bought these things when I was working until I got laid off. But thank God these were already paid for. I bought these probably a couple of years back. So I didn't have to, it wasn't something I wasn't thinking, who's thinking of going to get laid off from a company, right? You don't think that. You think, I got a big company. I don't have to worry about stuff like that. But, hey, you know what they say? It happens, boop happens, so to speak. So that's where I am with this part. But, again, I am frugal in a sense that I do not go out and buy expensive stuff. When it came to getting a desktop mic, I wasn't going to buy. I figured the name of it. They got ones there like over $100. I seen them going for $200–300. It depends what you're looking for. Depends what's in your budget. But to me, that lab tech, I should say, works great. I'm talking on it right now. You hear me talking right now. It's coming from that. That's what I'm using, the lab tech, and it works good. And again, I got that for a few bucks at the thrift store. It worked, and I put it in. I like the way it sounded. I said, hey, this is great, So I have no complaint with that. But the thing I wanted to show you is basically, we're going to do a screen share here. Windows came out with this here. Now, if you look over here, they changed. I got this thing from Windows. They upgraded something here. They did something along with the Microsoft Edge. Now, Edge even changed from the older one. Now, if you look at the Edge, I have it on my icon right here, the lowercase here. It changed, and it changed in a way where they made the screen darker, which is which is good. It's got a nice outlay, the way it's set up. They claim it's faster than the other two. I guess if I get to that screen there, I think this is it. Is this the one? Let me see if I can see this. I don't know if that's the one. Oh yeah, I was just checking something out over here on eBay, as you can see. I'm always doing something here. Let me get out of that for a second. Let me see over here. Oh, is this the one I'm looking at? No, I'm back to eBay again. Isn't that funny? I'm trying to show you guys something. I keep going back to the same thing over and over again. Well, it just goes to show you, right, where I'm at, right? I'm always on eBay. They had a thing here where they had like an introductory thing, and it was showing you how good this is here. That it's just as good as Chrome and Firefox. And it's not bad the way they have it. When you hit this little arrow down, when you keep going to different screens, it keeps adding on here, and you could have them like that. You could show it that way. When you want to add another one, hit the plus screen, of course, and then it'll bring it to here. And then you could do the same thing. You could import your favorites and stuff like that. It's not bad. I mean, I like it. It's supposed to be better than the other ones. So they say. That's what they're saying. It's not bad. It's a different format from what I'm used to. I mean, I'm using Google Chrome over here, and I like Google Chrome. Maybe I'm over here. I just realized I'm backed out of here. I like Google Chrome. You can set it up here. This is pretty good here. I got all my things up here. I like it. The home page, I'm trying to figure out how to set the home page up, because each time you click a new window on, you keep getting this window, wherever it comes up here. And now it's not doing it now. Okay. It's supposed to show you the scenery over here. Okay, now you got this one coming up. So you see, here you go. This one talk on. It's nice, but it brings up these things here. You see, this is how it starts off. It's not bad. I mean, I like it. I think it's pretty fast. I have stuff, like I said, running in the background. So I have this is still doing a quick scan. What I was going to show you, getting back to this though really quick. Windows Defender Security Center. I use that to protect my computer. I had no problem with it, thank God. If it has any virus threats, it got rid of them. That's another thing. Again, Mr. Frugal. I don't believe in buying the McAfee, Norton Security. You got to pay, yearly for that stuff there. And some people say, well, you pay for it, it's good to have and all that stuff. I don't need all the additional bells and whistles. I've been using Microsoft Windows Defender for a long time. And has it detected viruses and threats? Sure, absolutely. And believe it or not, it has right over here in the little icon where it says checked. It says no actions needed. This is the new format of it, though. Okay, this is the way it is. So if I want to do a quick scan, it filed the scans here. It shows you here, file scan, 5,000, whatever here, 56,000, 7, whatever. And then you got the advanced scan. You could do more. You could do your full scan. You could do you could also do it offline, and you could do your custom scan, what you want to set it up with, and then you just do that part. Everything else is good. Like I said, I don't know when this update came into place if it's what caused my computer to crash. Okay, all I know is it was like after I did this update. I'm not blaming Microsoft. It could also be all the other stuff I had in there. Cyberfox, I just did an upload that same day. It had an update. An upgrade, and I did that, and I think that was the last one. But in the background, I was doing another upgrade. There was 2 upgrades going on. The one for Cyberfox upgrade, and it was the one for Filmora. Now, I don't know. I can't say, but these guys, all 3 were running at the same time. So what I'm trying to say, folks, is, I've done things like this before with my computer, where I had things running in the background and I've had a problem. But I guess it was maybe when something was being upgraded, maybe something got sucked into the system, whatever. Maybe it was a spam thing, a file, or a bot file, whatever. But all I know is it caused my computer to shut down. And here's the other thing I want to show you guys. When it did that, when it finally tried to power it up, turn it on, it kept recycling. It kept restarting itself over and over again. It would shut off, it'd go back on, shut off, go back on. I said, this is screwed. Thank God I had my laptop, because I had people asking questions, messaging me on eBay about eBay things. I had a couple buyers on there. I had to get stuff. I said, what am I going to do now? You know, if I said to myself, if I didn't have this computer, this laptop to help me out, to save me, so to speak, what would I do? People said, well, you got the iPad. But suppose I didn't have the iPad. We said, well, you could do it off your phone. Who wants to work off the phone? And I don't know if the phone's going to, I mean, my printers are wireless. I mean, I'm sure I could set it up like that. But who wants to go through all that aggravation? But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. As an eBay seller, Amazon seller, or a plain just reseller of anything, general merchandise, whatever, I think it's always a good point to have an additional computer around. Even if you buy a laptop and you say, well, I would keep it up to date. I don't use the laptop that much. I do it I should say not that much. I use it probably more frequent now because as I'm doing my listings and doing research, I'll keep something on in the background over there. I might be, you know, listening to something about Cyberlink or something like that. Because I had, right before I did this video, I was watching my friend there, Power Director University guy, Malik, and he teaches you everything about Cyberlink. And by the way, I just want to share this really quick with you guys. That hour-long video that I did with Cyberlink, it uploaded, no problem, okay? The reason why I'm saying I'm just sharing it with you guys is because I know if I was to do that with Filmora, even though I like them, it would have probably got an upload failed, okay? And I could bet you dollar for dollar that that's what would happen if I did that there. So I didn't even bother. As a matter of fact, I'm making a video right now. Again, I'm using Cyberlink to do this video. I can't take that chance anymore. I get a little nervous now. I might just do a 5-minute video to test it out to see if it'll even do that without having an upload fail. But this video, the one I just did about, you know, my take on, you know, video editing software, that was done with Cyberlink Power Director Ultra, and that's what I'm using right now. So I just wanted to share with you guys. But let me see something here. I don't know if I still have it up here. I think I typed in here. It is right here, folks. See this here? This looks like the same mic I have. Only thing is they have a button over here. I guess what they did is they took the button that was on the switch here on the bottom and they put it over here. But you see, $9, best offer. So if you offer the guy $5, to me it works great. Okay, they have other ones too. You could buy this one $5. Look at this one, $5. You know. I mean, you could buy expensive mics. I mean, if people want to go out and buy, I don't know. I forget the mic that's out there. It's an expensive one. I don't know if it's blue. I can't think of the name of it. It's a mic. I hear some of these guys watch. Some of these guys that do videos, these guys that are really into video making, you know, for YouTube, they buy those expensive mics. They have the foam thing around it, so when they're talking, you know, it cuts out the wind or whatever. And I'm not going to spend that kind of money. I'm not going to. Look. You could hear me loud and clear in this, right? I mean, I'm not talking garbled. You don't hear like static. And this is pre-owned. So in regards to buying an expensive mic, my mic does the same thing. You know, you could hear me. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to spend $200 or $150, whatever it is, on a very expensive mic. I think this has noise cancellation on it anyway. I think. I'm not sure. But I know it has something like that there because I don't get too much static in the background. I don't hear too much noise. If anything, I'll say one thing. The mic is super sensitive. I can tell you that. But anyway, these are things I'm talking about. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money on this type of stuff, this type of equipment. Again, you know, that's totally up to you. If you guys want to spend the money on stuff like that, you go right ahead and do it. That's, you know, your prerogative. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. In regards to having a computer, basically that's what I want to talk about. I know in the first part of the video I was showing you the equipment I have, you know, my printers, my computer, and you know, my laptop and my iPad. But I just wanted, the reason why I wanted to share with you is because it was very frustrating. Like I said, I was on it all morning. I was using the first part in the morning, and then I don't know, maybe around 8:30ish, 9, whatever. That's when it just bombed out on me. I couldn't. It's got locked up. I had to be during the uploads. I have to say, it had to be around there. I think it had to be around that time when I was doing the upgrades. But Microsoft did an auto upgrade. Now you might say, well, I could have canceled it, but I figured it was something like a patch and something that would be better, so I let it run. But it really hosed. I'm not saying that did it. It could be the other 2 uploads. But man, I was hosed up and I couldn't get this. This computer, the desktop, was out of commission for the whole till the next day, till Saturday morning. So thank God I have my laptop to help me out, to answer questions for people, asking on eBay and, my emails and stuff like that, because I don't have my emails hooked up to my phone. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna work on a phone, a cell phone, to do business. I mean, I know people do. I'm not gonna conduct business like that. I'm sorry. I like to hit the keyboard, hit the keys and stuff, and I want to see a big picture. I can't do it. I can't work with something like this. I wear reading glasses. If I take these reading glasses off, I can't see. I mean, I can see now, but it's a little on the blurry side. But normal, because my vision's got to tune in, focus in. But I use these for reading. I don't know. I don't wear them for driving. I wear them for reading. Small print. That's what happens when you get older, folks. Your vision gets a little, it's not the same as a 20-year-old when you were 20. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's basically all I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you think this was a good topic to talk about, you think it was a practical thing to share with you guys, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Please subscribe. If you thought you got anything out of it, you want to give it a thumbs up, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. Thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter to me. It's not going to make any difference to me. I like to share this information with you guys in the reseller community. I just think it's an important thing. I don't know, maybe people might say, oh, we already know all about that. This is old news. And maybe, to some people it may be old news, but some people starting out, they may not be old news. And you know something? You never know a problem until it exists, until it happens to you. We think like, oh, I got a computer. This can't happen. Listen, computers get hacked every day. There's viruses that go on it. There's viruses that can compromise your hard drive. That's what I thought at first. I said, oh, maybe my computer the hard drive got compromised. And they said that I got a lot of stuff. That's why I got a backup. I have a backup there. And I already backed up a lot of stuff. Thank God for that. That's another thing I would suggest you guys get. And a cheap investment if you could. Get yourself like a 1 terabyte hard drive, an external one, or internal, doesn't matter. Get yourself one of those cases. That's what I have over here. I have one of these cases. I'll show you real quick here. I just figured I might as well share with you. I got you on it. Well, I got your attention. This here, it comes with a stand. Okay, it comes with a stand, and it's got a fan here. This is nice. Let me make this bigger, folks. This one here. Oh boy, what's going on here? I want to show you guys. This here is a Sabrent. Okay. It's got a fan. Usually I don't see cases, case like this here, external case with fans. They probably do come with them. I'm not used to seeing them like this one here. The case, I don't know, what did this case cost? I don't know, it must have cost, see the red light comes on, red and blue, right? You turn this way, it could be lights for you put on top of your car. That's when it reads, that's when it's reading right now. It has a fan, okay? Yeah, you just got a little message there that it's a removable device. I would recommend getting one of these. And this here, now I only have an 80 gigabyte hard drive. What happened was I took my daughter's when it sold a computer. She had 2 drives in there, and the drive that's in here I had to reformat because I had a lot of information in there from her school and stuff like that, personal information. So I put it on here, wiped it out, reformatted the drive, and I picked this guy up. It's a Sabrent, right? I think it's Sabrent. Yeah, Sabrent. Oh, Sabrent. I'm sorry. It's got a nice look to it. Metal. Well, a lot of them, I'm sure, are metal. And I picked this up here. It's got some other outputs here. Okay, that's your power button here, and you got another one here. Can't see that. What is that there? Oh, you got a SATA drive, whatever. I guess if you want to add, maybe you want to daisy link it. Maybe you could add another connector to it and do it. I don't know. I'm not sure with that. I got to read the instructions. It gives you this software too, and very good thing to have for backup. I recommend to get one of these here. The casing, I think I got this at Micro Center. I don't know. I think I paid for this case, I think $30 for it. I think it was on sale. But it has a fan over here, right over here. It's got a fan, and keeps the hard drive right. And that's what's going on. It's right now. It's going on. Okay. That's where you see the light there. When you first power it on, you get the, I'll do it one more time here. Okay. You can hear the little thing circle down. And when you power it on, you get the 2 red lights. It looks like a cop light, right? Put it on top of your car. You can use it as a light. Make it blink. No, I'm not kidding. But that's what you got going on here. But I definitely get one of these external drives. And what this here is, I could put a terabyte. I could put any size drive in here. So I don't have to be subjected to an 80 gigabyte. It's an 80 gigabyte hard drive. It's enough right now storage for me to, back up my computer. But I recommend you get one of these here, folks. If you don't have one, get one. It's a good investment. Like I said, the hard drive I had a long time ago. My daughter, like I said, she gave me the computer, so I didn't pay anything for the hard drive. It's an 80 gigabyte hard drive. This is the only thing I had to buy, and I think I got this. This was also on sale too. When I got this, I didn't get this at a thrift store. This is why I bought this brand new, and what do you call it there? I got this here, like I said, I think for like 30 bucks. It was on sale, but definitely worth having. And if you guys said if you got stuff to back up, you might want one of these here. Check it out. But anyway, folks, I don't want to hold you guys up anymore. I know I go on and on with these videos. Unfortunately, I like to share the things I have with you guys to give you some information on it. You know, I thought that would be a good thing to share with you guys, but I can't express it enough to, you know, check into stuff like that there. You know, so that's what I said. Basically, what I'm talking about in this video, is to, you know, get yourself a backup computer. If you get even a refurbished laptop, it's good to have just to do your work. Get a basic one just to do your work, to connect to the internet, to answer questions, to emails. Because I'll be honest with you, if I didn't have that, a laptop or whatever, what are you going to do? You're going to go to your friend's house, your neighbor. Hey, can I borrow your computer? You know, not everybody's going to want to give up to your computer. I mean, I could always ask my daughter for a laptop. I could just sign it to eBay. You could do that too. You could sign in on your eBay on your account on their computer. But who wants to do that? You know, suppose this happens. Suppose you're up at 12 o'clock midnight, like I am. I don't go to sleep sometimes till 1 o'clock in the morning over here in the East Coast because I'm answering eBay. You know, answering messages. You know, I'm doing research, trying to get stuff out. Sometimes I try to get stuff out. You know, I'm packing stuff for the night before, or for the next day, I should say. So you know, it's a good thing to have. It really is. But I'm going to let you guys go because I think I'm rambling on. Again, this is a 40-minute one. The other was an hour. I don't want to go into another hour, but I just thought I'd share with you guys. If you got any questions, you want to, you know, leave it in your comments, please. If you think this was helpful, if you think it's any, you know, good idea to have, like, you know, if you think what I'm saying makes sense, that, you know, it's good to have a backup computer. You don't have to buy an expensive one. Get a refurbished one if you want. I'm not crazy about refurbished. When it comes to computers, a printer, I don't mind taking a chance on that because it's a printer. You know, people say, well, it's still electronic, but I rather, when it comes to the computer, I like to get new. And like I said, what I bought here, I didn't spend a lot of money. Like I said, that HP desktop was only $499. People say only, it's cheap enough for me considering. And the laptop I picked up was brand new HP. I paid, like I said, $299. It was $300 plus, you know, tax. But at least that saved me because this computer was down all day. I mean, like I said, after I tried to do my, you know, diagnose it and try to correct the problem, it was down. It was finished. It wasn't working. So, you know, after everything I did, I played around with it eventually, you know, but I had to wait till the next day because the last thing I did, what the guy was saying, that's the very last video I watched where he says, you take out the CMOS battery, you're supposed to let the thing sit for an hour or whatever, so to, I guess, clear itself out, you know, the memory, whatever. I also took the memory out too, the memory stick. And I did that. I said, I'm going to sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I'm not going to play with this computer anymore because I was working on the computer over there, clean that out, answering stuff on my laptop, going back and forth like a crazy guy. And that was the last thing I did. I took out the CMOS battery. It's a little round battery on your computer. I reset the jumpers like the guy said. Took out the memory slot there, memory card. I laid it on a static-free cloth. And I went to sleep, and I said the next morning, I said, please let that thing work, because otherwise, if that wasn't the problem, I would have to go out and buy, if it was a hard drive crash, go out and get myself a new hard drive, which is very expensive. I would get the same one they had in there, Western Digital, I think it is, Western Digital Blue. It's a terabyte, but it's a cheap. I think it's like Walmart sells them. I think you can buy offline for $53. The memory, I don't know how much the memory would cost, because sometimes memory could cause that too. If the memory is bad, that'll cause your computer not to boot up. I was all ready to go out to the computer store, and pick these things up. I said, if it doesn't work, that's it. I got to do it. I got to spend the money. And I popped in the CMOS battery, put the memory card back in, powered it on. I seen the HP logo. I said, thank you. It was great to have the computer back again, my desktop, you know. Not that there was anything wrong with the laptop. I still use it religiously, but I was so happy that I got that to get it to work. So far, it's working. I hope and pray it keeps on working because, like I said, I mean, I don't mind using a laptop, but I like the desktop has a lot of information. It's got a lot of stuff that I have stored on there, and that's why I do all my videos and stuff like that. That's what I'm doing now. Anyway, folks, it's 9:15 East Coast time over here in New York. I know it's not staying so late, but I want to call it a night as far as making videos. I don't know if I'm going to make any more tonight. I don't think so. I can't think of anything offhand. But if I do, you'll know about it. For the people who subscribe to me, you'll be getting a notification. Thanks again, guys, for stopping by. I'm sorry for rambling on. I just wanted to share that with you. It was on my mind. I said, you know what? Let me share with the rest of the reseller community out there, or just in general, YouTube people that hit the channel. I think it's important, and I think you guys would agree. If anybody has been in a situation like this where your computer bombed out on you and you couldn't work, couldn't do any work because of it, share it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm just curious. I mean, if it was like that, if I didn't have the laptop, that's how it would be, and that could hurt your business too, folks, because if you're out of a computer, that's the most important tool outside of your cell phone. That's the most important tool as far as for business. You need a computer, and also a good printer, a decent one. You don't have to go buy an expensive one. The reason why I have the all color printers is because sometimes I like to print out things in color, but for the most part, I'm not making any endorsements or getting paid for this, folks. That Brother printer, I think it's the HL2270DW. I like it because it's a duplex and it's wireless. Those brothers are diehards. I mean, they're workhorses as far as I'm concerned. That's my personal opinion. I think they're workhorses. They work good. You pop the cartridge in there, the toner cartridge in there. You get the high-yielding cartridges. You buy them off of eBay. You get them cheap. I deal with a guy in Brooklyn over here, and it's called Easy Ink. Well, yeah, I think Easy Ink. And I paid, I think, $10 for the cartridge. I ordered a new cartridge from the guy, and I'm all ready in case when that thing runs out, I just pop that new one in. And with the high yield cartridge, I think it works up to either 2,700 copies you could get or 3,000, something like that. Believe me, in this business, get yourself. I would recommend, me personally, I recommend the Brother printer, the little form-fitted ones. Like I said, the HLs, you can get them on eBay. HL, that's the one I sold, and I did a video on it, and I didn't have it on there too long, if I quite recall. I did a video on it. It was my personal one, and it worked great. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you soon. You have a great day. Take care now. Good night, and I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.